You've seen how fast the attack offense is in the full court. You've seen the attack offense flow seamlessly into the half court. Now, how does the attack offensive mentality fit into baseline and side on out of bounds? I'm going to show you in this video. I think there's two big things when you're designing your out of bounds plays. And the first part of that is you want to make sure that your offensive philosophy matches in everything you do, whether it's your full court, your half court, or your special teams, which is your out of bounds plays. You want to make sure your offensive philosophy fits. So for example, I'm a full court motion conceptual offense coach. So my out of bounds plays are set up that way, where we create spacing, we allow flexibility, we allow freedom for players to go make plays. If you're a set coach, then you want those things to be a little bit more rigid than the way that I would design them. But again, your overall philosophy should cover all three of those things. The second big thing is to evaluate yourself from a points per possession basis. And you want to do that two different ways. The first way is find out what your points per possession is on the play itself. Are you scoring off the play itself? A lot of coaches really love their out of bounds plays and think that they're actually doing better than they are. And I don't know why that is. I don't know why out of bounds plays is something that we take and hold so dear to our hearts, but we think that they're working better than they are. As a matter of fact, I just coached against somebody who yelled out, run box, that works all the time. Well, it worked 1 out of 10 times when they played against us. So again, make sure you're evaluating yourself points per possession based on the play itself. And the second part to that is check out your points per possession just in that half court possession alone. So let's say you get it in, the play didn't work, do you still score in that possession? I worked with a Cleveland Cavaliers assistant. He actually charted a whole season of NBA out of bounds, and what he found out was the best points per possession was simply just throwing the basketball in and running your half court offense. So for me, being a conceptual coach, that is a big part of how I do things out of bounds wise, understanding that basically the best points per possession is you simply just get it in and then you run your offense. But others may feel a different way because there may be a set coach and they want to score off that out of bounds play, specifically off that play itself. So whatever it is that you do, make sure again that the philosophy fits overall. And the second part is when you're watching this video, there might be some things, because we do some things a little bit differently, but there are things I think that you can add to your to what you do. If you're a motion coach, you're obviously going to pick up a lot more. But if you're a set coach, I think there's certain things in this video that you're going to be able to steal and then enhance what you do out of bounds. So for me, the way that I've designed out of bounds plays is I keep it with the same philosophy as everything else. So it's the same. Our plays are the same versus man or zone. That keeps things simple. It limits the practice time needed to prepare for either a man or zone, because everything's the same in what we do. And then just like our motion offense, we want to play in concept. So I'm giving players the freedom to make plays in our out of bounds plays. And we'll also do something that I think that a lot of people should be looking at and maybe to steal is pre-snap reads. So like when we line up originally, I want to put the defense in a spot where our spacing right off the bat is going to cause some issues, and we might get a bucket without even moving. And then I want our out of bounds plays to flow seamlessly into our half court offense. So it's designed with spacing in mind so players can make plays, and it's designed so that way the out of bounds play can flow directly into actions. And a lot of times that could be a ball screen action if we have a post player. There are times where I coached college where I would tell players like, hey, if this doesn't work, get right to the ball screen and we'll go from there. And you'll see that in some of these videos. So the first thing we're going to talk about is pre-snap reads and alignment. This is my preferred alignment. Balls being taken out of bounds there. We have a post here, a player in the middle, a player in the opposite corner, and then at the top. But you can do all the same things we did, but out of any alignment that you want to do it out of. What you're trying to do is your spacing's trying to put pressure on the defense. So when we line up, we have pre-snap reads where if the defense is sleeping or not paying attention to one of these people, then we're going to take advantage of it right off the bat. So a lot of times the first pre-snap read is actually that backside corner. A lot of teams, when they play defense, they're so worried about these two people that they're in tight. And if we line up with enough space on the baseline and we can see that pass, a lot of times that backside pass to the corner is wide open for an open three. Or you'll get the closeout where you can attack the closeout off of that. Another pre-snap read is right here in the middle. Now on the guy's side, the guys can get a little bit more vertical, so that could be a lob. Eye contact's made between the inbounder and the person in the middle, lob pass and a bucket. but it can also be where a player just sneaks down. If their defender's got their head turned and they're this way, and we can sneak down and see that pass behind them, then we'll take advantage of that too. And then another one is if the inbounder's defender's here and we can get the ball right to this post so we can go one-on-one right away, we'll do that also. And if the whole defense is shifted down and worried about the basket, we can throw it to here and get a wide open three right off the bat, we'll take that too. And another thing that you'll find with pre-snap reads, if you get the ball in quick and get it on the rim quick, you also open up opportunities for a lot of offensive rebounds. I want you to also see, like, we let players make plays. So if we line up and we're in our alignment and a player sees something, just like a pre-snap read. A pre-snap read is if the player sees something, they do it. Well, it's the same when we're given freedom to make a play. So we might line up and then a player might see something and just go do their own thing, which is okay if they see something that works. On this one, our post player says, you know what, I got this guy. So, okay, go get him. Or we might actually run a play and then somebody inside the play actually sees an opening that's not part of the play, but we want to play good basketball, and they'll just go make a play and then we'll score off of that. The play here is not to get into immediate ball screen action, but they saw something they liked and it turned out they were right with what they saw. So you can see we can score a lot of different ways, whether that's inside our play or outside of our play. Now, before I get into showing you all our plays, I'm going to give you a little secret. Maybe it'll help you out too. I know some other coaches have been doing this a lot lately. I mean, we started doing this a long time ago, so a lot more coaches I think are on this train now. But we labeled our plays 0 through 5. And the reason why we did that is we would go based on whatever the clock said. So whatever the second part of the clock said. So there were 8 seconds. Let's say it was 7 minutes and 8 seconds. The 0-8 is what we went off of. So 0 was, we would run out of bounds play 0. If there was 58 seconds, we would run out of bounds play 5. So our plays were labeled 0 to 5. And rather than me calling it out, again, it goes back with my motion conceptual. We didn't call plays. We let them go play. They would actually just look up the clock, read the clock, and everyone would be on the same page with what we were going to do. Sometimes I might call something out if I really like the matchup. But for the most part, I just let the clock dictate what out of bounds play that we ran. So that might be something that you want to steal on your end too, something where you don't have to call things out. I know some people use like towels, colored towels. Some people call the number or just signal the number out rather than call it out so the defense doesn't know. But I think using the clock is also a pretty good idea and a deceptive idea that you can steal and use. First out of bounds play is 0. 0 is just simply the post pops out. We back screen for the top and we go through. Now you'll see in our out of bounds offenses, we always have a safety. It's basically a built-in get back person. I can't remember who I learned that from or who taught that to me, but I thought it was a great idea. So in every out of bounds play design that we have somebody get back. Just in case something goes wrong, we already have a get back person built in for defense. But we also allow these two to communicate. So instead of a back screen, if they want to set a down screen with this play, they're more than welcome to. It still sets up the same way, whether it's a back screen or down screen. Just gives a different look and keeps the defense on their toes. But you'll see if we get it into the top, we can get right into ball screen action. We could even set a pin-in screen for the inbounder coming in. So a lot of different secondary action we can get to with this play. Out of bounds play 1 was simply away screen. So we would away screen, and looking for that. And again, just like our offense, if we screen and we can slip this and we can get a bucket that way, that's what we're going to take advantage of. If if we screen this and we can slip this, we'll take advantage of it. So basically, all they needed to understand was it's 2 away screens to start number 1, and then they're playing offense from there.
Beautiful pass by Thomas to find Lopez in the center for 2.
Out of bounds play number 2 was an elevator screen for the shooter. It was in the corner. They come through the elevator screen. Then we actually set a 3rd screen here. So just really trying to open up space for a shooter. Again, they can shoot that, or they can catch it, get the close out, and they can attack. And after they set this elevator screen, it's screen and screener action on the backside, where this person will pop up and we get back, and we could get a bucket there on the backside. Out of bounds play 3 is a double back screen for the top of the key. We give them the freedom to go either way. Doesn't really matter. And then we screen the screener action here. And again, we got our safety involved. Out of bounds play called 4. What I was trying to do is get the defense to shift up and maybe leave this person open to do whatever they want. So we would actually set a high double ball screen, a high double stagger screen on the elbows for this shooter to come around high, and maybe they would all come up and lead this to be a one-on-one action underneath, and we were looking for that. Now, same concept though, doesn't get the ball. First screener and second screener, if you watched our other videos, you know this screener reads this screener. So this person slips, this one pops and becomes our safety. If this one pops, this person slips, and this one's our safety. Out of bounds play 5, geniusly named because its post players are normally numbered 5, so that's how I remembered it. So we went down and double screen here. This player becomes our safety. We're looking for the post first, and then we got screen the screener action after that. And when this person inbounds, they go the other way. And again, you can see we kind of get to the same look a lot of times. Where we get this 3 out, 2 in spacing. But again, it's spacing creates offense.
Figueroa will get it into Rocco. Rocco, the drive, goes up strong, gets the foul.
Now, in AAU, we don't do 0 through 5 because we don't look up the clock. That's just 6 out of bounds plays for an AAU, in my opinion, is just way too much, right? So we've given them a couple options. The sideline out of bounds play that I'm going to show you, T, we can run that in the half court, and you'll see that. We can run that in a baseline out of bounds, and you'll see that later. The other thing that we just do is blob, and I think a lot of people are running this nowadays. We line up 4 out, and then we let them do whatever that they want to do. Now, remember, we still have our pre-snap read, so that corner is open, which they are a lot of times. We're still going to hit that. If any of these people are open, we're still going to hit that. So anything that we run baseline out of bounds is pre-snap read, no matter how our alignment is. So we're always looking to score before the defense is ready for us. So you can see the design of our out of bounds play sets up so that way we get good spacing and we can attack with spacing, or it flows right into actions so we can attack off our actions. Now our sideline out of bounds plays, exactly the same. Actually, I only have 1 out of bounds play really, but at the college level, I would actually just let them inbound it however they wanted to, whenever they wanted to. So I learned that lesson because I had something set up one time at a halftime and we passed the ball in off of our own player's legs and went out of bounds. And I said, I'm never designing a play at halftime again or sideline out of bounds again. So sideline out of bounds, same concept. We get it in, we're in our offense. And you'll see through some of these videos here how when we get it in and we just get right into an action, that we're pretty good off the sideline out of bounds.
Really, Mike?
That's what they need too. They need to let CMU not play so aggressive. And here's Conley for 3 off the pick. It's good. And 8 seconds on the shot clock to Jarrell. Screen by Conley, nothing going on there. Jarrell drives, dishes to Thomas inside, gets the bucket.
But I do have one simple sideline out of bounds play called T, and I'm going to actually incorporate a video I did on Twitter/X that has over 200,000 views and 2,000 bookmarks. So I know people stole it. That's what I want, is people to steal things that'll help them and work for them. So I'm going to put that video here next inside of this because I've already done it. And then you can kind of see how T works both as a slob and as a blob. So over the last year, I've watched too much basketball where on sideline out of bounds, I hear announcers say, they've been having trouble getting it in all year, or they've been having trouble getting it in all games. So I'm going to show you a really simple sideline out of bounds play, the only sideline out of bounds play that I run, and maybe it'll help you out too. I'm a simple person, so the sideline out of bounds play is named T because it's shaped in the letter T. And our T always faces the basket that we're going to. The first player in the T is normally your point guard. They can go either way. Their job's just to get open. The second player in the T is your post player, your center, your best screener. They'll screen for the back player going to the basket. Then they'll turn and screen for the next player to come to the ball. And that person goes opposite of where the point guard goes. And then the middle person would then flash back to the basketball. If a team is up and pressing us, then the point guard will take 1 step away from the basket and then to the basket. A lot of times they're wide open for a layup. If a team plays off the inbounder, then we'll throw it in and then right back to the inbounder so they have the one-on-one to go to the basket. Now, if you're a coach that likes plays or have automatics off of this, if the point guard goes backwards away from our basket, we can run through the whole tee. And then what it does is it's automatically going to get us set up in the ball screen action where we can throw it back, get into a middle ball screen, and we have 2 shooters in the corners ready to go. We can also run T as a baseline out of bounds where our T's facing the basket. Our point guard can go either way. A lot of times the cut to the basket's what's open for an easy layup. If they go that way, then when we screen, the next cutter fills the block and then out. And then the second cutter then would fill the open block. And just like with the sideline out of bounds, the safety valve is the screener. And again, if you're someone that likes plays or to be able to call automatics, we can get right into side ball screen action with the 2 shooters right from there. I just know that's the simplest way to get the basketball inbounds. And so if you're having trouble getting the ball inbounds, especially late in the game, there's no way that that possibly can be defended. 7 seconds left in the game, and we ran T 5 times to finish up the game. Now, it helps that we had a great point guard, because if you have a great point guard, they should be able to get open with that one-on-one every single time. And sure enough, she did every single time, 5 times in 7 seconds. And it just proves what I said. Even if they know it's coming, it doesn't mean they can stop it. Now, I'm going to show you a quick ATO here, and I'll show you actually how it works the first time when it worked the right way, and why it's so important to teach players how to play and let them go play, because the second time the defense has it stopped, and we still make that adjustment and end up getting the winning play off of it. Okay, so this is an ATO from the sideline. Now, when I design plays, I design them specifically for the players that we have. So I'm going to show you what the action is, but I'm going to also tell you how I got to it because the video might be a little bit different than what I show you on the play. So ideally what you want in this play to pass it down and then go into dribble handoff action with a back screen attached to it. So now we can attack and we're looking to score here. On the backside, and I call this hammer, but we did not do hammer action all the time where we screen up and look for the corner, because we had 2 good shooters, so I could really care less. The defense is the one that normally has to pay attention to the offense, and I don't like to move. If you watch the other videos, I just like to be shot ready. So we didn't set this hammer screen unless we absolutely needed that hammer screen. But you'll see I needed my scorer to get the ball here. Our point guard really wasn't a scorer, so that's why I did it that way. If our point guard was a scorer, then when we inbounded it off of this, our point guard would actually just get the ball, throw it down, and then they would run the dribble handoff that way. Again, kind of like a false motion action to get to this back screen, so that way they're kind of falling asleep to hit that back screen. And again, you got 2 shooters on this side. You could hammer screen it if you want. So this is how this ATO is supposed to look. It's supposed to pass to the wing, into a dribble handoff, into an alley screen, and that's the action that we're supposed to get. They run it perfectly this time. Now the next time that we run it, game's on the line. The other team actually defends it really well and doesn't allow us to get back to the same action. And so this is where I'm big on teaching players how to play rather than plays, because watch how they handle this with the defense stopping the initial action. So we get it in, we still get the pass to the wing. Now we can't get the dribble handoff back, so now what? Do we panic? Do we shut down? Nope. We just run in an unscripted way, something they've never tried or done before, just players making big plays at big times for a big win. So hopefully after watching all that, you can see how my philosophy, my attack offensive philosophy fits into our full court, fits into our half court, and fits into our special teams, which is our baseline out of bounds, our sideline out of bounds. We keep the game simple. We want to be the same versus man or zone. We want to set things up to create spacing. We want to set things up so we can flow easily into our actions. And so the whole thing fits into what we do. Now, hopefully, whether you play offense like we play offense, hopefully you were able to see some things that'll help you along the way, whether it's the pre-snap reads, whether it's giving players a little bit of space and freedom to do things, whether it's the actual play itself. You can steal anything. I'll send you PDFs if you want our PDFs. So hopefully you got something that can help you and your offense. If you like what you saw, give us a like or a thumbs up. Subscribe to us so you can get all our updates. We've been through now full court, half court, special teams, and now the next thing that I'm going to do in the next video is show our zone offense and how our attack offense is basically the same offense, whether it's man versus zone. Until then, keep attacking.